The world is filled with chaos, negative news, toxic people, and unexpected challenges that can knock you down at any moment. If you don't learn to control your mind, you'll easily get caught in the cycle of anxiety, anger, and fear. But how do you stay calm in a world that never stops changing? Stoicism, the philosophy that helped great leaders like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus remain steadfast in the face of adversity, is the answer. It doesn't teach you to run from hardship. It teaches you to master yourself, turn obstacles into opportunities, and maintain composure even in the toughest moments. This article will introduce you to 10 Stoic lessons that can change the way you see life, and more importantly, help you live stronger and freer than ever. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe and like if you're new here. It helps me keep bringing you more valuable content. Life will throw all kinds of problems at you. A dishonest coworker gets promoted over you. A rainstorm ruins your big plans. Someone treats you unfairly despite you doing nothing wrong. You can complain, get angry, or blame others. But then what? Those things will still happen, regardless of how you feel. Stoicism teaches that you can't control the world, but you can control your thoughts and reactions. People can cheat you, betray you, or hurt you, but only you decide whether to drown in anger or rise above it. Calmness is not weakness. It is the ultimate power of self-mastery. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have the power to have no opinion about something. You don't have to let your mind be pulled into other people's emotional storms. You can't stop the chaos of the world, but you can choose not to let it disturb your mind." Those who master this principle walk steadily through the storm. Those who let the outside world dictate their emotions become puppets of fate. You can hate the rain, but it will still rain. You can despise someone, but they will still exist. The world does not revolve around your desires, and you have two choices: fight reality and suffer, or accept it and adapt. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You can curse what happens to you, or you can accept it as part of the game." Acceptance doesn't mean giving up or being passive. It means seeing reality as it truly is, without exaggeration, without distortion, and without wishing it were different. Think back to times you were angry or upset. What really hurt you? The event itself, or your expectations of it? Rejection hurts not because it's catastrophic, but because you expected a different outcome. Losing something is painful, not because it disappeared, but because you believed it would always be there. Stoics don't waste energy on things they cannot change. If there's something to be done, they act. If not, they accept it. Because they understand that life doesn't care about your emotions. Only you decide how you face it. Life is unfair. It will knock you down, take away what you cherish most, and throw you into situations you never expected to face. But here's the harsh truth. No one cares how you feel about it. You can sit there, complain, and pity yourself, or you can get up and turn adversity into fuel. Stoics don't see hardship as a curse. They see it as a challenge to overcome. Seneca once said, "Fire tests gold, adversity tests strength. Only the weak pray for an easy life." Great people don't succeed because they avoid difficulty. They succeed because they use obstacles to forge themselves. An athlete cannot grow stronger without brutal training, and a man cannot mature without facing adversity. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask yourself, "What can I learn from this?" Every challenge is a lesson, an opportunity to build patience, wisdom, and inner strength. Those who use adversity grow stronger. Those who only complain are consumed by it. You can't change the past. You can't control the future. But there's one thing always in your hands: the present moment. Yet ironically, most people waste it. They torture themselves over past mistakes or obsessively worry about what might happen. But Marcus Aurelius said, "Focus on this moment. The only thing you ever truly have is now." What does that mean? It means there's no point in beating yourself up over what's already happened, and no point in panicking about what might come. The only thing that matters is what you are doing right now. If you want a better future, stop dreaming, start acting. If you want to fix past mistakes, stop dwelling in regret. Do better from now on. You can't live in yesterday. You can't live in tomorrow. You only have today. And a life where every today is used wisely, that's a life worth living. Emotions are a double-edged sword. If you control them, they help you make wise decisions and live a meaningful life. But if they control you, they turn you into a weak man, reactive, impulsive, and constantly making mistakes. Stoics understand that emotions are temporary reactions, not absolute truths. Anger, anxiety, and fear all come and go, but the consequences of poor decisions made in a moment of weakness can last a lifetime. Think about it. Losing your temper and yelling at your boss, smashing things in frustration, saying something cruel to a loved one in the heat of the moment, and then what? You could lose your job, lose respect, or even destroy important relationships. Epictetus once said, "If someone can make you angry, they are controlling you," and that is unacceptable. A Stoic does not let others dictate his emotions. The next time you feel anger rising, pause, breathe, and ask yourself, will this reaction help me? If not, let it pass. Emotions are not your enemy, but they are not your master either. Imagine standing on the moon, looking down at Earth. The problems that stress you out every day, deadlines, arguments, failures, suddenly seem microscopic. All you see is a tiny blue dot floating in the vast universe. The things you once thought were so important are actually nothing at all. Stoicism teaches us to take a wider perspective. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself that he was just a small part of an enormous timeline. His personal struggles meant nothing in the grand scheme of the universe, and this realization helped him stay calm and unshaken. Your boss yelled at you? Will it matter in a year? You failed a project? In 10 years, will it even cross your mind? Most of the things we stress about today will be irrelevant in the future. So why let them destroy your peace now? Once you start seeing the world from this cosmic perspective, problems become lighter. You stop being dragged into trivial conflicts. You stop letting negative emotions control you. Instead, you live freer, calmer, and more focused on what truly matters. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you find this video helpful. It's the best way to support me in creating more valuable content. Most people live under the illusion that things will always go smoothly. Then they panic when life hits them with unexpected punches. Stoics are different. They understand that bad things can happen at any time, and instead of fearing them, they prepare to face them. The practice of Premeditatio Malorum, Latin for premeditation of evils, is a powerful tool to keep you calm. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Every morning remind yourself that you will encounter selfish, deceitful, or treacherous people today. But that is their nature. It does not have to affect yours. Instead of being shocked by hardship, you accept it calmly, because you expected it. Each day, take a moment to ask yourself, what is the worst that could happen? How would I handle it? If you have a backup plan, nothing can shake you. If you have already prepared your mind, nothing can break you." Stoics do not wish for an easy life. They prepare to be stronger for whatever comes. Death is inevitable. But instead of fearing it, Stoics use it as a tool to live better. Memento Mori, Latin for remember that you will die, is not a curse, but a powerful reminder of the value of each moment. Think about the times you put things off, calling your parents, pursuing your dreams, simply enjoying a beautiful sunset. You always assume there will be more time. But the truth is, you don't know if tomorrow will come. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you think and do." Practicing Memento Mori is not about being pessimistic. It's about making every second count. If today were your last day, would you live differently? Would you still waste time arguing over petty things? Would you still stress over meaningless worries? Would you still let fear stop you from taking action? Death is not the enemy. It is the motivation to live without regret. Every day you wake up is a gift. Don't waste it. Have you ever wondered why so many people have everything, money, houses, luxury cars, yet still feel empty? It's because they become slaves to the very things they own. Stoicism teaches that material possessions never bring true happiness, and clinging to them only makes you weaker. Seneca once wrote, "Wealth is not about having more, but needing less." A happy man is not the one who owns the most, but the one who can be content with nothing. If you need luxury to feel okay, you are not truly free. You're just living inside a golden cage. Take a moment to reflect on your life. Do you truly need everything you're chasing? Will a bigger house actually make you happier? Will an expensive car change who you are? Focus on what truly matters: experiences, personal growth, and wisdom, rather than trying to fill an inner void with meaningless things. Once you learn to live simply, you'll feel lighter, freer, and no longer controlled by endless desires. Everything in life changes: your health, your job, your relationships, even who you are as a person. Yet most people fear change, cling to what's familiar, and panic when things don't stay the same. Stoics understand that impermanence is the law of nature. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Everything you love will eventually be gone. Don't let that bring you pain. Let it remind you to cherish every moment." When you understand that nothing lasts forever, you stop clinging, stop resisting, and start adapting. Think about the different phases of your life. There were things you once thought were everything, but now they're just memories. Friends you were once inseparable from may now be distant. Dreams you once had may no longer fit who you are today. This is not a tragedy. This is growth. Instead of fearing change, embrace it. Everything comes and goes, but what truly matters is your ability to stay calm and adapt. When you accept impermanence, nothing can break you. Calmness is not a gift. It's a skill you can train. Stoicism doesn't teach you to suppress emotions or become indifferent. It teaches you to master yourself in all circumstances. When you realize that you can't control the world, but you can control how you react, you'll no longer let external chaos shake your inner peace. Adversity is not the enemy. It's an opportunity to build resilience. Living in the present, letting go of material attachments, and accepting impermanence will allow you to focus on what truly matters. And when you remember that death could come at any moment, you'll stop procrastinating and start living a life that truly matters. Stoicism is not just a philosophy. It's a guide to standing strong in the storm, staying unshaken in a chaotic world. Once you master your mind, nothing can move you. And that is true freedom. We often live in a rush without stopping to understand ourselves. Have you ever asked yourself what truly drives you every day? That's why I want to share with you 8 important questions that could completely change the way you view life and yourself. These questions not only help you identify your core values, confront your fears, but also guide you toward a more meaningful and fulfilling life. In today's video, we will explore each question, analyze real-life examples so you can immediately apply them to your life. To understand yourself, the first step is to identify your core values. These are the non-negotiable principles, the foundation for how you live and make decisions. Without knowing your values, you're easily swept away by societal standards, comparing yourself to others, and feeling lost. The story of James, a young entrepreneur in New York, is a perfect example. He pursued a career in finance, not out of passion, but because he believed financial success was the only measure of worth. However, after achieving success, he still felt empty. James read Seneca's Stoic philosophy. If a man does not know to what port he is steering, no wind is favorable. He began reflecting on his true values and realized that money was not the most important thing. Honesty, learning, and contributing to the community were the values he cherished. From then on, every decision in his life became clearer, and he changed his job to pursue his passion for financial education. To identify your core values, you can ask yourself, what do you regret not doing? When faced with difficult decisions, which principles guide you? Write down the top 5 most important values and narrow it down to 3 core values. These values will help you make the right decisions. When you live true to your core values, you'll feel that life is meaningful and no longer fear insecurity. Spend 30 minutes this week writing about your core values and adjusting your habits and relationships accordingly. Living true to your core values is a challenge in the modern world, where social pressures and short-term benefits can easily lead you away from your principles. Core values act as a compass, helping you make decisions and set a direction in life. However, being aware of your values does not mean always living according to them. The conflict between beliefs and actions can lead to feelings of insecurity, lost direction, and low self-esteem. Emma, a lawyer in London, always valued honesty. However, when working at a large law firm, she had to hide the truth in lawsuits. Despite feeling guilty, Emma accepted this because she wanted to advance in her career. After several compromises, she felt she was betraying her core values. After a controversial case, Emma went through a mental crisis and decided to quit her old job to start her own law firm, where she could work based on the principle of honesty. To live true to your values, you need to ask yourself, do my actions reflect my core values? Am I compromising due to fear or social pressure? If so, make adjustments. This may involve changing your behavior, ending toxic relationships, or learning to refuse things that are not in alignment with your values. Living true to your values not only brings inner peace, but also serves as the foundation for self-esteem and respect from others. Reflect on your actions and see how they align with your core beliefs. When you live authentically, you will feel complete and happy. If this video made you think, hit like now. Comment below, how have you applied Stoicism in your life? Stoic success, unbreakable mindset, total control. An important principle in Stoic philosophy is to focus on what you can control and let go of what is beyond your reach. Inner peace does not come from changing things you cannot control, but from the ability to control your reactions and attitude. Understanding this boundary is key to living a calm and resilient life. Mark, a graphic designer in Berlin, used to be obsessed with feedback from clients and opinions on social media. Every negative comment made him anxious and doubted his abilities, reducing his productivity and joy in his work. After reading Epictetus' Stoic philosophy, we cannot control events, only how we react to them. Mark started to change his approach, focusing on what he could control: the quality of his work, his ability to learn, and his perseverance. He improved his skills, built a personal project portfolio, and stopped chasing external standards. As a result, Mark's work and life became calmer and more confident. So what is within your control? It's how you respond to challenges, develop your skills, and choose your actions. You can't control the weather or other people's emotions, but you can control how you prepare for presentations, face negative feedback, and maintain a steady mindset. Try categorizing your worries into 2 groups: what you can control and what you cannot. Focus on the first group and let go of the things you cannot change. As Marcus Aurelius once said, allow yourself to accept the reality, but never stop trying to improve what you can. Focusing on what you can control will bring peace and inner strength. A core principle of Stoicism is the ability to control your reactions and act proactively, rather than being dominated by circumstances. A reaction is an impulsive response, often based on immediate emotions such as anger, anxiety, or fear. In contrast, being proactive means carefully considering your response based on reason and your core values. David Story, a marketing director in Chicago, is a perfect example. In an important meeting, he was harshly criticized in front of his colleagues. His first reaction was to justify himself immediately. However, recalling Stoic philosophy, David took a deep breath and stayed silent. After the meeting, he proactively sent an email to his boss, suggesting a private discussion to clarify the matter. This action helped him avoid tension and left an impression of calmness. Being proactive doesn't mean avoiding conflict, but rather choosing the method and timing of your response, aligned with your values and long-term goals. When you are proactive, You control your emotions and choose actions based on reason. To practice proactivity, pause when facing a triggering situation and ask yourself, is this reaction really necessary? Identify your core values and focus on what you can control. Being proactive applies not only in conflicts, but in all aspects of life, from seeking opportunities to improving situations. As Marcus Aurelius once said, you have the power to control your mind. No one can take that away. Peace comes from the ability to face difficulties proactively. And when you take control of your life, you truly control your destiny and emotions. Fear is a powerful emotion, but if not confronted and understood, it can become a major barrier to personal growth. Stoicism teaches that fear often arises from uncertainty or thoughts we have created ourselves. Understanding the origin of fear is the first step in overcoming it. Rebecca, a teacher in Boston, always dreamed of teaching abroad, but her fear of failure and concerns about adjusting held her back. She feared that she wasn't good enough, would make mistakes, or couldn't fit in. However, when she wrote down her fears, Rebecca realized that they were mostly assumptions that hadn't happened yet. Rebecca decided to apply the Stoic technique, Premeditatio Malorum, which means imagining the worst-case scenarios. She imagined struggling with teaching, making communication mistakes, and being rejected. However, she asked herself, if that happens, how would I cope? She realized she could learn from mistakes and gradually adapt. Thanks to this, Rebecca overcame her fear and succeeded in her journey of international teaching. Fear is not the enemy, it is a signal to be faced. To overcome it, you can. 1. Specifically identify your fear and write it down in detail. 2. Ask yourself, what is the worst that could happen, and how can I prepare for it? 3. Focus on what you can control. As Seneca said, we suffer not from reality but from our thoughts about reality. Fear is an illusion, and facing it is the key to your growth. Stop wasting another day living in weakness and chaos. Subscribe to Stoic Success now to build an unbreakable mindset, master your emotions, and face life like a warrior. Defining your goals is essential in the journey of self-discovery. If you're unclear about what you're pursuing, you may easily be swept away by the expectations of others or influenced by societal standards that don't align with your true self. Clearly defining your personal goals helps you live with purpose and meaning. Michael, an architect from New York, pursued his dream of becoming a partner at a prestigious firm because it was the expectation of his family and society. However, after achieving this success, he felt empty and lacked meaning. After much reflection, Michael realized that true joy came from designing sustainable buildings that positively impacted the community. He decided to leave his old company and start his own firm, focusing on community projects, even though the new path wasn't glamorous. To define what you're pursuing, ask yourself, what makes you feel alive and meaningful? Without social pressure, what would you truly want to achieve? Does your current goal reflect your core values? Journaling and self-questioning will help clarify your true goals. Don't let yourself be swept away by external definitions of success, forgetting your inner values and desires. It's important to distinguish between short-term and long-term goals. Make sure your daily goals contribute to building a more meaningful life. As Marcus Aurelius once said, pause and ask yourself, what is the purpose of this? When you understand your goals, you will live more consciously and peacefully in your personal journey. Failure is an inevitable part of life, but how you face and learn from it is what truly matters. Stoicism teaches that failure does not define you, but rather it is an opportunity to refine yourself and develop wisdom. Facing failure the right way can serve as a powerful stepping stone for growth. Sarah, a freelance writer from California, spent 2 years writing a novel, expecting it to be a breakthrough. However, when she submitted her manuscript to publishers, she was repeatedly rejected. Instead of feeling disappointed, Sarah applied Stoic philosophy. She asked herself, what can I learn from this failure? After analyzing the feedback from editors, she realized she needed to improve the plot and characters. Sarah continued to revise, attended writing workshops, and a year later, her novel was published and received positive feedback. Failure is not the end, but an opportunity to learn and practice patience. To learn from failure, you can follow 3 steps. Acknowledge the failure honestly, without blaming circumstances or others. Analyze the failure rationally to find what can be controlled. Apply the lessons learned to the next challenge. As Epictetus once said, it is not circumstances that make the person, but how we respond to those circumstances. Turn every failure into a valuable lesson and continue moving forward with perseverance and courage. Asking this question helps you reevaluate how you are living your life. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Live each day as if it were your last." This does not mean being pessimistic, but rather a reminder that life is short and time is limited. When you become aware of the fragility of life, you focus on what truly matters and let go of the trivial. John's story, a software engineer in London, is a perfect example. John had spent many years working tirelessly, hoping for a fulfilling life later on. However, after witnessing the sudden death of his close friend, he asked himself, "If today were my last day, would I be living in a way that reflects what I truly value?" John realized that he had sacrificed too much time for work, neglecting his health and close relationships. He decided to change, spending more time with his family, engaging in volunteer activities, and focusing on more meaningful projects. Asking this question helps you eliminate unnecessary distractions and focus on what truly matters. Ask yourself, am I spending enough time with those I love? Am I pursuing things that truly matter? Are the small conflicts worth my attention? Put this principle into practice today. Let go of negative habits, cherish small moments, and live with gratitude. As Seneca said, no one thinks they live long enough, but they waste their life on meaningless things. Don't wait for perfect circumstances to change. Live with courage and honesty, for each day is an opportunity to become the best version of yourself. The journey of self-discovery is not just about finding answers to important questions, but also about facing yourself truthfully and courageously. Through the 8 questions we've discussed, you'll gain a clearer understanding of your values, fears, goals, and how you respond to life's challenges. A deep understanding of yourself is the key to living a meaningful life and achieving inner peace. Remember, self-awareness is not a fixed destination, but a continuous journey. By regularly questioning and adjusting, you will become a more mature person, living authentically and moving towards a future you can be proud of. Embrace failure and mistakes, for the lessons from them will help you grow and improve. Start right now by taking time to reflect and adjust yourself. Every moment is an opportunity to reach your best version. Do you think helping others is always the right thing to do? Think again. If you help the wrong people, you won't just waste your time and energy. You'll be used, betrayed, and even dragged down with them. Some people don't want to change. Some only seek you out when they need something, then disappear when you're the one struggling. Others are irresponsible and lazy, but always expect someone else to fix their problems. And if you keep helping them, you're just setting yourself up as their next victim. This video exposes 8 types of people you should never help. Don't make the same mistake again. Ungrateful people never appreciate or acknowledge the help they receive. They can make you feel that your efforts are wasted and that no matter what you do, they will never be satisfied. This is a type of person you should be cautious of because your kindness becomes meaningless when it's not valued. Imagine spending an entire evening helping a friend solve a personal problem. You offer thoughtful advice and find optimal solutions for them. But instead of expressing gratitude, they say, "Why did it take so long? Is this the best you can come up with?" This is a typical example of an ungrateful person. Not only do they fail to appreciate your efforts, but they might also hurt you with their lack of courtesy and negative emotions. Research from the University of California shows that ungrateful individuals often have low self-esteem and a tendency to see only the negative aspects of life. They are like bottomless pits, never satisfied no matter how much they receive. This deep dissatisfaction usually stems from unhappiness within themselves, something you cannot fill with your help or affection. How should you handle ungrateful people? First, remember that your kindness is not an unlimited resource. Don't feel guilty about deciding to stop. Their ingratitude is not a reflection of your worth, but of their own behavior. Set clear boundaries and only invest your energy in those who truly appreciate it. Additionally, don't let their ingratitude make you lose faith in kindness. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "We cannot control how others behave, but we can control how we respond." Instead of letting them demotivate you, learn to identify those who deserve your support. For instance, imagine helping a coworker with a task at work, only to receive complaints about how you did it instead of thanks. This can make you feel frustrated and disheartened. In such cases, express your feelings honestly and establish clear boundaries. If they don't change, don't hesitate to say no the next time. Finally, remember that gratitude is a key element in relationships. Research from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology indicates that grateful individuals are not only happier, but also maintain stronger relationships. If someone never expresses gratitude, it might be time to step back and focus on those who genuinely value your presence. Lazy people avoid responsibility and often rely on others to achieve their goals. They lack motivation and tend to spread this negative attitude, creating stagnation in their surroundings. They are quick to find excuses for delays or incomplete work. Imagine a friend who constantly complains about not reaching their goals. When you offer to help them with an action plan or share useful resources, they seem enthusiastic for a moment but never follow through. The next time you see them, they're back with the same excuses. "I'm too busy," or "I don't have the right conditions." This is the classic lazy personal ways, procrastinating and unwilling to take action. Psychological studies show that laziness often stems from fear of failure, lack of confidence, or poor discipline. However, their inactivity doesn't just affect them, it inconveniences those around them. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "Act as if your life depends on it, because it does." For lazy people, this is a monumental challenge. How can you deal with lazy individuals? First, define your role clearly. You cannot carry their responsibilities for them. Set limits and only help when it's genuinely necessary. If they repeatedly exhibit lazy behavior, consider stepping back and letting them take accountability for their own lives. Another approach is to encourage them to change by pointing out the consequences of their inaction. For example, if they fail to complete a task, explain how this affects not just them, but also the team or project. However, be prepared for the possibility that they might not change. Laziness is a deeply ingrained habit that requires their own will to overcome. Helping a lazy person only makes sense if they truly want to change. Otherwise, your efforts will be in vain. As motivational speaker Jim Rohn said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." Don't let their laziness impact your drive and quality of life. Irresponsible people avoid accountability for their actions. They not only ignore their personal responsibilities, but often blame others or external circumstances for their failures. This behavior not only causes frustration, but also adds extra burdens to those around them. Imagine working in a team where one colleague consistently fails to complete their tasks. When confronted, they offer endless excuses like, "I wasn't properly guided," or "It's not my fault." These individuals can turn minor issues into major complications, leaving others to clean up their messes. Irresponsible people are often frustrating to help. They rarely learn from their mistakes, and even when you dedicate time and effort to support them, they remain unchanged. This stems from long-standing habits and a lack of self-awareness. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "We shouldn't expect others to change, but we can change how we perceive the problem." This applies here. You can't control an irresponsible person's behavior, but you can manage how you interact with them. Avoid becoming the hero who constantly fixes their mistakes. Instead, let them face the consequences and learn to deal with reality. To address this type of person, adopt a straightforward but tactful approach. For instance, if they fail to complete a crucial task, ask questions to help them recognize their responsibility. What do you think needs to be done to resolve this issue? This not only clarifies their role, but also forces them to think and act. Don't hesitate to refuse help if you notice them taking advantage of your kindness. Setting clear boundaries and holding them accountable is the best way to protect yourself. Remember, each time you help an irresponsible person without limits, you reinforce their bad habits. Ultimately, you can't save everyone. A person will only change when they acknowledge their mistakes and are willing to improve. If you find yourself stuck in a cycle with an irresponsible person, consider stepping back to preserve your peace and energy. If this video made you think, hit like now. Comment below, how have you applied Stoicism in your life? Stoic success, unbreakable mindset, total control. Manipulative individuals are experts at controlling emotions and actions to achieve their personal goals. They often exploit your kindness and empathy, making you feel obligated to help even when it's to your detriment. Imagine someone you know who frequently talks about their life's struggles, evoking sympathy and prompting you to assist them. However, once they receive your help, they demand more or disappear without a word of thanks. This is the hallmark of a manipulative person. They use guilt or responsibility as tools to control you. Manipulative people are often skilled at presenting themselves as pitiable or trustworthy. However, their true intent is to take advantage of you. This behavior not only creates imbalance in the relationship, but leaves you feeling drained and exploited. Stoic philosophy teaches us to recognize our worth and not let others control our emotions. When dealing with manipulative individuals, the key is to maintain boundaries. Don't let guilt dictate your decisions. Learn to say no clearly and confidently. To identify a manipulator, pay attention to their behavior. Do they frequently make you feel pressured or responsible? Do they express dissatisfaction if you don't comply with their demands? If the answer is yes, you're likely dealing with a manipulative person. Remember, you're not obligated to meet all their requests, especially if it makes you uncomfortable. The best way to handle a manipulator is through transparent communication and firm boundaries. For instance, if they ask for your help, respond by saying, "How will this benefit you in the long run?" This not only clarifies the situation, but forces them to reflect on their true intentions. Refusing to help doesn't mean you lack compassion. On the contrary, it's a way to protect yourself and maintain balance in your relationships. Manipulative people will only continue to take advantage if you allow them. Stand firm and safeguard your values. Constant critics are people who always find faults in everything you do. From the way you dress to the decisions you make, they never seem to stop pointing out your flaws. The danger of this behavior is that it can erode your confidence and create a highly stressful environment, draining your motivation to improve. Imagine working on an important project and hoping for some encouragement or support. Instead, the critic focuses solely on minor mistakes. "Why isn't this more colorful?" Or, "This method won't work." Their comments don't help solve the issue, but leave you feeling discouraged and doubting yourself. Critics often act this way because they feel insecure about themselves. They hide their fears or feelings of inferiority by putting others down. According to Stoicism, no one can hurt you unless you let them. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." How do you deal with a constant critic? First, recognize that not all criticism is constructive. Learn to differentiate between feedback that helps you grow and comments meant to tear you down. Don't let baseless negative remarks affect your confidence. When faced with unnecessary criticism, stay calm and avoid reacting impulsively. A simple response like, "I'll consider your input," can help you maintain control without escalating the situation. Additionally, minimize the time you spend with constant critics. Instead, surround yourself with people who genuinely support and encourage you. As Jim Rohn said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." Choose companions who bring positivity to your life. Finally, remember that constant criticism often reflects the critic's personal issues more than your shortcomings. Don't let their words deter you from your path. Continue striving for your goals and let your success speak for itself. Narcissists are people with an inflated sense of self-importance. They always prioritize their own needs and disregard the feelings and concerns of others. They expect admiration and service from everyone around them, but rarely offer genuine care or empathy in return. Imagine having a friend who constantly steers every conversation back to themselves. Even when you're sharing a personal challenge, they manage to shift the focus to their achievements or problems. This is the hallmark of a narcissist. They are not interested in you, but use you as a tool to reinforce their ego. Research shows that narcissists often lack empathy and struggle to form deep connections with others. This makes them difficult to deal with in relationships. Stoicism advises setting clear boundaries when interacting with such individuals. As Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When dealing with narcissists, avoid getting caught up in their self-centered behavior. If they demand attention, evaluate whether it's genuinely necessary. Learn to say no when their requests become excessive or unreasonable. Focus on maintaining balance in the relationship. Don't let them control your emotions or turn you into an audience member in their performance. If necessary, keep your distance and invest your time in relationships that are mutually respectful and supportive. Ultimately, you can't change a narcissist. They must recognize their issues and choose to improve. Instead of trying to fix them, focus on protecting your values and happiness. Exploiters are individuals who take from others without any intention of giving back. They often disguise their true motives with fake friendliness to gain your trust. Imagine a coworker who frequently asks for your help, saying, "I'm so busy, can you do this for me?" But time and again, they never return the favor. When you ask for assistance, they conveniently find excuses or avoid helping altogether. Exploiters are skilled at making you feel obligated or guilty for not helping them. This is their strategy to manipulate your kindness. However, Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of setting boundaries. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Do what is right. Let others say what they will." To handle exploiters, clearly define your role and responsibilities. Don't hesitate to refuse unreasonable requests. A straightforward response like, "I'm sorry, I can't do that right now," can help you protect your time and energy. Remember, helping others should come from a place of kindness, not obligation. If it feels forced or one-sided, it's no longer genuine assistance. Prioritize relationships that bring value and meaning to your life. Jealous people struggle to accept others' successes. They may belittle your achievements or even try to harm you to ease their own insecurities. These individuals can cause significant emotional damage if you don't recognize them early. Imagine earning a major award or securing a great opportunity at work. Instead of congratulating you, a jealous acquaintance says, "You just got lucky." This is jealousy in action. They can't acknowledge your hard work and talent. Research suggests that jealousy often stems from feelings of inadequacy or insecurity. Jealous individuals compare themselves to others and feel they fall short. However, Stoicism reminds us that your worth is not diminished by others' opinions or actions. As Epictetus said, "No one can harm you unless you allow it." When dealing with jealous individuals, avoid boasting or oversharing your achievements. Instead, focus on those who genuinely celebrate your success. If necessary, maintain a healthy distance to protect your peace of mind. Ultimately, their jealousy doesn't define your value. Continue pursuing your goals and let your accomplishments speak for themselves. You know the truth. Not everyone deserves your help. Blind kindness only turns you into a puppet for the lazy, the ungrateful, and the selfish. If you keep trying to pull up someone who refuses to change, you'll be the one sinking instead. From now on, be smart. Help only those who deserve it, those with the will to rise, those who appreciate your support. As for the complainers, the leeches, the backstabbers, Let them take responsibility for their own lives. Now, you have two choices. Keep being a foolishly good person, or learn to protect yourself. The decision is yours. Have you ever wondered why some people always achieve success while others struggle without making real progress? The secret isn't luck or natural talent, it's the daily habits they build. Successful people don't wait for opportunities. They create them by consistently doing the right small things over and over again. In this video, we'll uncover the 6 most powerful habits of highly successful people. Habits that help them take control of their lives and stay ahead of the game. If you've been feeling stuck, unmotivated, or falling short of your goals, chances are you're missing these key habits. Successful people understand that how you start your day largely determines the quality of your life. They don't let their mornings slip away in chaos and rush. Instead, they turn this time into a crucial ritual to set themselves up for a productive day. Waking up early isn't just about opening your eyes before dawn. It's a strategic move. While most of the world is still asleep, you gain a few quiet hours to focus on yourself without distractions. This is the time to read, exercise, reflect on big goals, or simply enjoy the stillness before the world gets noisy. People like Tim Cook and Oprah Winfrey don't wake up early just out of habit. They do it because they understand the value of a well-spent morning. But to achieve this, you need a shift in mindset. Waking up early doesn't mean forcing yourself out of bed while exhausted. It starts with quality sleep. If you want to wake up at 5 a.m. feeling refreshed, you can't stay up until 1 a.m. scrolling on your phone or binge watching Netflix. Your body needs time to recover, which is why successful people treat sleep as part of their strategy for peak performance. When you master your mornings, you master your day. Instead of starting with stress, you enter the day with control and clarity. You have time to focus on what truly matters instead of getting caught up in minor distractions right from the start. And most importantly, you gain a powerful advantage that few are willing to claim. Time to grow yourself before the world starts demanding things from you. Successful people don't waste time on meaningless tasks. They understand that each day has only 24 hours, and how they use that time determines everything. While most people get caught up in minor tasks, phone notifications, or pointless meetings, successful individuals focus solely on what truly creates value. They don't let their to-do lists become an endless, chaotic mess. Instead of trying to do everything, they pick the most critical tasks of the day and channel all their energy into them. The tasks that generate the greatest results always come first. This not only makes them more effective, but also reduces stress by eliminating the need to juggle too many things at once. Focusing on what matters requires a different mindset. It means learning to say no to unnecessary distractions. Does that email really need an immediate response? Is that meeting truly important, or just another organizational habit? Is a specific task worth your entire morning? Or should you delegate it? Highly successful people are experts at protecting their time and not letting others dictate their schedules. To achieve this, they start each day with a clear priority list. They don't fall into the trap of fake productivity, always being busy but making no real progress. Instead, they invest their time in activities that drive actual results. This is why they always feel in control of their work, rather than being controlled by it. When you learn to focus on what truly matters, you'll realize you have more time to achieve your goals. And most importantly, you'll feel yourself moving forward, rather than just staying busy without getting anywhere. If this video made you think, hit like now. Comment below. How have you applied Stoicism in your life? Stoic success, unbreakable mindset, total control. Successful people never settle for what they already know. They understand that the world is constantly evolving, and if they stop learning, they will quickly be left behind. The biggest difference between successful people and average ones isn't their starting point. It's their ability to continuously expand their knowledge and upgrade themselves. Learning isn't limited to school or degrees. Successful individuals see learning as an essential part of life. They read books daily, listen to podcasts, take online courses, or seek knowledge from those more experienced. Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors, spends most of his day reading. Elon Musk taught himself rocket science by studying technical books. They are relentless in their pursuit of knowledge to enhance their thinking and decision-making skills. But learning isn't just about absorbing information, it's about applying what you learn. Successful people don't just learn for the sake of knowing, they learn to take action. If they read a book on time management, they implement those principles into their work. If they take a course on communication skills, they practice them in meetings. Knowledge without action is useless, and they fully understand that. More importantly, they don't let their ego get in the way of learning. Many people fail because they believe they already know enough. Successful people are different. They are always open to listening, asking questions, and seeking feedback. They are not afraid to admit when they're wrong because they see every mistake as an opportunity to grow. You don't have to be the smartest or the most talented, but if you commit to continuous learning and daily improvement, you will surpass those who rely solely on natural ability. Success isn't about how much you know, it's about how well you use what you know. Success doesn't come from temporary inspiration, it comes from relentless discipline. Those who achieve great things don't always feel highly motivated, but they have the discipline to keep going even when they don't want to. They don't wait for inspiration to strike. Instead, they create systems of habits that push them forward every day, regardless of how they feel. Discipline isn't about forcing yourself to do things you hate. It's about building principles that make achieving your goals easier. An athlete can't expect to win a gold medal if they only train when they feel like it. A business owner won't succeed if they only work when they're in the mood. The best in any field follow strict routines that allow them to perform at a high level, even on their worst days. Successful people understand that discipline doesn't limit freedom. It's the only way to achieve true freedom. When you have control over yourself, external temptations and emotions no longer dictate your actions. If you have a habit of working efficiently, procrastination isn't a problem. If you consistently take care of your health, you won't have to panic about losing weight. Discipline prevents impulsive decisions and ensures you stay on track. Building discipline isn't easy, but it's absolutely trainable. Start small. Wake up on time, complete what you commit to, exercise for at least 10 minutes a day. When you consistently keep promises to yourself, you create a solid foundation for success. It's not talent or luck that separates the good from the great, it's discipline. No one is immune to failure, not even the most successful people. However, the difference lies in how they handle difficulties. While the average person may give up when faced with obstacles, successful individuals see challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. They don't let negative emotions control them. Instead, they maintain a positive mindset to find solutions and push forward. If you look at top entrepreneurs, athletes, or artists, you'll notice a common trait. They all endured countless failures before achieving success. Steve Jobs was once fired from the very company he founded. But instead of breaking down, he used that time to improve himself and ultimately returned stronger than ever. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team, yet rather than quitting, he trained relentlessly and became one of the greatest athletes of all time. A positive mindset doesn't mean ignoring reality or living in denial. It means looking at problems from a different perspective. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you ask, "What can I learn from this?" When you change the way you think, you change the way you act, and ultimately, you change the results you achieve. But having a positive mindset alone isn't enough. You also need perseverance. There will be days when you feel exhausted, frustrated, or even doubt yourself. The key is not letting those moments define your path. Success isn't about making one giant leap. It's about taking hundreds, even thousands of small, consistent steps every day. If you keep moving forward, even when things get tough, you will go much farther than those who sit around waiting for the perfect moment. A positive mindset helps you see opportunities in challenges. Perseverance allows you to turn those opportunities into reality. Together, they form the foundation of any great success. No one succeeds alone. No matter how skilled or talented you are, you need the right people around you to learn, collaborate, and grow. Successful individuals understand that their value doesn't come only from their personal knowledge or skills. It also comes from the relationships they build. A strong network can open doors to opportunities you could never create on your own. But networking isn't about making random friends or trying to please everyone. Successful people don't waste time on shallow connections. They seek out and connect with positive, driven individuals who bring real value. They understand the rule: you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you surround yourself with negative people, they will drag you down. If you engage with those who are more knowledgeable and ambitious, you will continuously learn and grow. Their approach to relationships is also different. They don't ask, "What can I get?" Instead, they think, "How can I help?" They know that real value comes from giving before receiving. When you contribute first, you naturally attract high-quality people into your life. Another key factor is the ability to maintain and nurture relationships. Successful people don't just connect once and then forget about it. They stay in touch, offer support when needed, and help others without expecting immediate returns. This genuine and long-term approach to relationship building ensures that when they need support, whether in business or personal life, they have a strong network ready to back them up. Success doesn't come from effort alone. It also comes from the doors that others can open for you. When you invest in meaningful relationships, you gain more than just opportunities. You build a powerful support system that helps you go further than you ever could alone. Success is not luck, nor is it a gift reserved for a select few. It is the result of habits that are built and maintained every single day. Those who achieve greatness don't have superpowers. They simply do the right things consistently. Waking up early gives them an advantage before the world starts moving. Focusing on what truly matters ensures they don't waste time on meaningless distractions. Continuous learning keeps them moving forward while others remain stagnant. Discipline allows them to keep going even when motivation fades. A positive mindset and perseverance turn failures into stepping stones for success. And above all, strong relationships open doors to opportunities they could never create alone. Success doesn't happen overnight, but if you commit to these habits, you will see a profound transformation in your life. Thank you for being here. If you found this video helpful, subscribe, turn on notifications, and like this video. Don't forget to leave a comment so we can spread positivity together.